Hey, it's Tim.
And it's Amy from Go With Less. We're so glad you're here with us today. In this week's video, we're going to talk about how practicing patience paid off for us. I hope you watch the whole video.
Every Wednesday here on our channel, we come out with a new video, typically talking about our early retirement or our nomadic lifestyle. In 2015, we left our careers in our late 40s and retired early, and in January of 2020, we sold our home and became full-time nomads. If you are new to our channel, please be sure and subscribe and ring that little notification bell. We'd also really like it if you give us a thumbs up.
Okay, so talking about that life of freedom, we are here in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, aka Rocky Point. It's just a 4-hour drive south of Phoenix, and last week we showed you one perspective of the beach. This week we're showing you a different one, and it is heavenly here. So before we get into the meat of our video topic, we had to talk a little bit about this incredible beach and Rocky Point.
So one of the things we talk about most frequently on our channel is we are in search of 75 degrees at all moments, and Puerto Penasco has delivered on that exceptionally well. So we actually had one night where we were out late-ish after dark, and it was in the 60s and we were freezing. So, but nonetheless, it is incredible here. The weather is beautiful, and the property where we're staying is beautiful. The beaches are pristine. It's been a great time here in Puerto Penasco.
We're in heaven. And so, as I mentioned, last week we shared a video from the beach, but 2 weeks ago we talked about a different subject, and it was about how we were available starting January the 4th. We had absolutely no idea where we were going, and we had some stress and some anxiety about that.
Yes, we had actually quite a bit of stress. I think we are still just sort of working through how this is panning out for us, but what we found is that if we waited a little bit to figure out what's going to happen in our life, we think we can find better value. And so as it happens, that turned out to be a win for us in that we have booked 2 different house sits. We did this last weekend in Texas, and so I'm not going to let too much of the cat out of the bag here. I'll let Amy elaborate on what that looks like.
Okay, so we had a lot of comments from that video, but maybe half of them said I would go ahead and it would make me so worried that I would go ahead and book something at a premium price, and the other half said just wait and chill out, something will always come up. So we decided to go the second route, which was real different for us as major planners, and so we were lining up a plan B if the house sit didn't come together, and this was probably going to be our plan B. So we wanted to get here first to see if we like it. We love it, and so this was a great plan B. So we've been looking around at apartments and resort buildings that have rentals and things like that. And lo and behold, within 24 hours, 2 different house sits, one of a month in just outside of Austin, and the second right afterward for just about 9 weeks, popped right up, and they were very, very competitive.
Yeah, so also we did find that there is great value here in Rocky Point or Puerto Penasco. So there are opportunities if we have to pay to be somewhere. This is certainly something that would be on our radar in terms
maybe
of someplace.
Maybe not this resort.
Maybe not this resort.
This resort's very swanky.
It is, but some place where we would certainly be happy to come back to. So just a handful of things about our sits in Texas. So both of the folks that we're sitting for have trips that are international, so there's some chance that their trips don't happen. We are confident, we have a high level of confidence that if they can go, they're gonna go, but just things might happen, and so we are prepared to maybe the sit falls through and we might have to pay to be in Texas. One of the nice things about where we're gonna be in Texas, though, is it's relatively affordable, and when you compare it to other parts of America. So if we did have to pay, it would be affordable to be there. So that's something that's on our radar as well.
So we were looking at Southern California as an option for Plan B. So is Texas not the cheapest place around Austin? It isn't, but compared to Los Angeles area, which is where we were looking, it definitely fits the bill. So what's really cool though is the sits popped up, like they were gone within about an hour. One of them was gone in an hour or two, and it just, they lined up perfectly. They were only up for a day or 2 because it's so competitive.
So when Amy says they were gone, it came up on the site that we use Trusted House Sitters. It came up and was taken down within 2 hours. Yeah. That whole transaction had happened.
I don't know that we didn't get it booked in 2 hours.
No.
But she put it up. There were so many responses. They both took it down within 2 hours or just within the day, the other one. And we were really lucky to even get it. So a lot of people reach out and ask us about house sitting getting started right now. We're not going to recommend that you get started with house sitting because it is incredibly hard to get house sits. So the fact that we even got 2 back-to-back is incredible. What I'm hoping is that the idea that we did have 2 of these longer sits, neither one is a vacation situation. So both are good situations. They're they're not just going on vacation. But I'm hoping that maybe there's some opportunity. I don't know. I think the fact that this worked out for us this one time gives us, first of all, a little extra room in our budget for next year. And so to have started off January, February, March paying up front would have really taken a hit to our budget. So the fact that we're starting with these house sits where we don't pay anything to stay there, I think that's going to give us a good head start into the year for our money. And maybe if we had to pay later in the year, it's not going to hurt so much.
So there's an element of luck involved in that these happen to be in a place where we want to be. That's lucky. The fact that they're back to back within 5 days of each other, that's lucky. The fact that they are at the same, that's right, that they're longish, that's lucky. However, there is a lot of work that actually went into making this happen, so certainly we don't take away from the fact that we had some luck involved, some serendipity involved, but we also, Amy spends a ton of time just watching these platforms and trying to make sure that things are going to happen for us that are amazing. And so if she weren't putting in that work, these would not have happened. If she weren't looking in that 2-hour window, we would have missed this opportunity for one of these sits. And so something that Amy has a saying that goes something to the effect of, when luck and hard work come together, that's how does it go? Yeah, I'm messing it up. You say it.
The harder I work, the luckier I am. And I
go.
definitely have been putting in the work, looking for these house sits for weeks and weeks and weeks. And again, I just jumped right on it. So that was really good luck. Now it was good luck that they came up. I'll say that. But it was because I was at the right place at the right time. I probably got on 40 times a day, so that wasn't just an accident that I was online that moment. But what I want to know is two things. Number one is, where are our Austin, Texas people? Because we're house sitting, we're not going to be driving to like Dallas or Houston or anything like that, but we might get to San Antonio on one of them, and we certainly would love to meet viewers outside. And also we know that it is not going to be our perfect 75 degrees. There will be a whole bunch of 75-degree days, which we're real excited about. And what we figured is the days that are cooler, we had mentioned 2 weeks ago, we wanted a longer term sit of like 4 months because we wanted to catch up on a lot of projects and just relaxing and just getting over being so busy forever. So this sit of 3 months, just over 3 months in one region, we're driving all over the country to our sits. The fact that it's just an hour is no big deal. So it kind of gives us a 3 months of like, okay, stop and take a deep breath, catch up on our projects, and even though it won't be perfect weather, that's okay.
Actually, I have a question too this week. So I grew up in Texas, in East Texas, and so I am really curious if anybody from my hometown or if anybody from Texas who knows me personally actually watches our channel. So I would love to have some
Tim doesn't promote it at all.
I don't do any promotion.
He doesn't promote it.
No, so I'd be curious if anybody that knows me personally, if you would make a comment below, that would be much appreciated.
I hope you'll look at it.
I might look at it, yeah.
Okay, now what I want to know from you this week is, how was your Thanksgiving if you're in the United States? Tim and I were here at a beautiful restaurant of our very luxurious resort. Our resort's called the Sonoran Sky, and we're renting a rental unit from an owner. So even though it's a resort kind of a place, we're not renting direct. It's a little bit different. So it's more like a condo living situation, and with a lot of, it's kind of a little bit different. It's not like a traditional hotel. But anyway, they have a really nice restaurant, and we had a traditional Thanksgiving meal with a twist, with the beach as our view.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a deconstructed Thanksgiving meal, because it wasn't something, it was all the ingredients that you would expect in an American Thanksgiving meal: turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, things like that. But it had a little different take on it. So
it was
upscale, and it was delicious for sure.
Delicious. So what I want to know is, how did you celebrate Thanksgiving to our U.S. viewers? Did you do the same old, same old? Did you ignore it totally? Did you do it completely adapted? Did you eat outside with other friends and family? What'd you do? So I want to hear about that down below. And for our international viewers, tell me what you got planned for Christmas holidays, I guess, of whatever is coming up for holidays for you. How are you planning to celebrate these days in COVID? And I will get back to you down in the comments.
Lots of questions this week.
Lots of questions. But one thing I want to mention is that we do have next week, our November monthly spending numbers are coming out, and they are high. We ended October over budget for the year, so we were hoping to rein it in. We did not rein it in.
Yeah, we still do have a chance of making our 36K target.
It's a mystery to everybody.
We'll elaborate on that with our numbers video next week, but it'll be a miracle if we do, and we might pull it in, we might not. We'll share more details next week.
Well, stay tuned next week, because we're going to be sharing how we went over budget again. So we'll see you Wednesday. Hasta luego.
Hey, it's Tim.
Oh my goodness.